Everyone, it's Kristen Howard with Halo Senior Solutions, and today we're doing a quick kind of get to know interview of one of our awesome partners. Her name's Ann, and her company is Linda's Daughter. So we're going to dive right into this and ask you a few questions about your company and what you do to serve seniors. So tell us a little bit about your business and how you got started.
For sure. Hey, thanks for having me, Kristen. I really appreciate it. I certainly love working with Halo. Liz is just wonderful. So my business is, I'm a senior move manager. And what that means is I work specifically with senior citizens who are making a move from one home to another home. It could be from a big house they've been in for 50 years to a small condo or an apartment, or a small condo and apartment that they've been in for 5 years to maybe an independent living or assisted living, and every variety. I recently moved somebody into a bedroom at their son's house. What I do is I manage that move, all the physical things of it. It starts with a custom project plan, right? Because there's lots of moving pieces. So here's what I'm working on right now. You can see.
Awesome.
I draw it out to scale and work with the client on what we're going to keep, what will reasonably fit, and what they have to have will make it work. I can squeeze China huts in safely, lots of places. And then what we're not going to move, we sell or give away, or sometimes goes in the trash, but we try to keep things out of landfill. And then I manage that whole process, the actual move, the selling, the giving away, the final clean out. And then the best part is getting them all set up on the other end so they feel right at home right away. That, like, make the bed, hang the pictures, even bought some new plants for people because they left their favorite daffodils behind, for example. Even food in the fridge if they want. Whatever they need to feel right at home right away. And that's what I do.
Awesome. So how did you decide to get started in this field?
You know, that's a great question. So I help my own mother. I help my mother-in-law. I helped several friends with their parents because they knew I had experience. And I worked in corporate America and did this on the weekends because I loved it so much. And the one day I woke up and it kind of dawned on me, like, the days I bounce out of bed super happy are the days that I'm doing this. Why don't I do that full time?
Right.
And it was a big leap of faith, but it was also one that I felt really prepared for and felt like it was calling me. And I have not been disappointed.
Awesome. So why did you name the business Linda's Daughter?
That's a great question. I get that all the time. Well, I am Linda's daughter. My mother is Linda Bell, and she has since passed away. My mother had the highest standards for having a home be warm and welcoming to all. She had a very high standard for being kind to all. She had a very high standard for problem solving without losing your head. She had 6 children in 8 years.
Oh, wow.
My dad was off building his own business.
Wow.
And so she ran a tight ship, but it was a warm and welcoming and loving ship. And so I named my business Linda's Daughter to hold myself to high standards every day so I can earn the right to call myself Linda's Daughter. It's a daily reminder that I got to bring the best of myself every day because that's just the highest standard ever.
That's so cool. Love that.
Yeah.
What's one of your favorite parts of your business or aspects to the business?
You know, I'll tell you, when I was in corporate America, I never ever got a hug from a client ever. And I think the hugs from clients and the thank yous of, you know, I couldn't have done this without you. I was so scared to move and you made it so much better. I'm excited for this new home of mine. That's the best part. That is worth its weight in gold.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
How would you say your business is different from others, and how do you stand out?
Another really good question. So when I was setting up this business last year, very, very purposefully, I wanted to keep it small. It's me and a couple helpers because I want to be on site at every job. I don't want to meet with a client and tell them things and then have other people come do it because I want to ensure that quality standard. my mother's name is on the business. I have
Right.
to. So very purposely, I'm very high touch. And because of that, I spend a lot of time on getting to know their goals and what they want to accomplish with the move. And spend a lot of time doing some preservation work. For example, this was a gem I found the other day and I brought it up to show you. So I'm doing a final clean out with somebody. They were already moved and they said, if you find anything, we must have missed it, it's garbage. Well, there was a built-in drawer that was kind of stuck, and so I opened it and I found an old wallet, called the client, she was like, it's garbage. I dug in there and there was an old love letter. You could see
Wow.
how it was.
That's so awesome.
It was her, she wrote it to her husband before they were married.
Wow.
And he had it folded up in a wallet from when he was in the service 50 years ago. So I found it and put it in a little baggie, and I have her permission. I'm gonna, later this week when I have a minute, I'm gonna go to the preservation framing store and get it framed and preserved, and we're gonna hang it in our new home.
That's awesome. You know, I don't know where I like in the past week, it's so weird you brought that up because I read some article that said, look through wallets.
Mm-hmm.
Like, make sure you look through wallets.
Yeah, this wallet was empty except for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's so, I have found old AA membership cards that were very meaningful to people from years past. And so I take the extra time to look through things and come up with creative ways to preserve it because it's such a precious memory. It shouldn't go in the garbage. It just shouldn't.
Oh, I agree with that.
Yeah, so I think that makes me different because I am smaller and on-site and very detail orientated.
Now, what's something that not many people know about you?
I'm an open book, so that's a kind of a hard one. I am 1/6 owner of a family farm, and I own it with my siblings, and that farm is sacred ground to me, and I think it's part of who I am as far as work ethic and love of family, a love of tradition, all comes from that farm.
And where's that farm, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, sure. That farm is in the Finger Lakes area of upstate New York. If you hear an accent of mine, that's where I grew up. I've been here 18 years, but yeah, I grew up in the Finger Lakes area of New York, and that's where the farm is.
What brought you here?
I was following my husband who had a job transfer.
Okay.
And then I think a lot of people in central Indiana have that. The economy is so good and the cost of living so low. And I didn't think I'd be here that long. And I found a second home in central Indiana. So I feel just so blessed to have home back at the farm and home here in Hamilton County.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for answering these questions and letting us all get to know you better and on a personal level and about your business. And what's one way somebody could reach out to you if they're looking for some help?
Well, sure. So you can see behind me. My website, lindasdaughter.com, is a great way. You can find me right there, or Facebook. I post a lot of things on Facebook too. It's just at Linda's Daughter 1 on Facebook. And my phone number is 999-9787, and you can call or text.
And that's a 317 area code?
It is.
Okay. And just as we wrap up here, I just want to provide some clarity. So what Halo does with Linda's Daughter, so when she talked about Liz earlier, Liz is our angel, and we coordinate the move, and we work with vendors like Linda's Daughter to help the senior get from point A to point B. So that's kind of how we work together. I just want to clarify that because sometimes people get confused. So I always say to think Halo as like a wedding coordinator.
Yes.
And how the wedding coordinator coordinates the florist, the music, and all the vendors, so the bride doesn't have to stress out. It's the same idea where Halo coordinates everything, and Linda's Daughter is one of those vendors that we bring in to help the senior.
And, you know, I'll share here, Kristen, one tool that Halo has that I think is just genius and invaluable is that Monday, the software you have.
Yes, Monday.com.
It is the to-do list on steroids,
with
everybody going in the right direction.
Yeah.
I love it. And I think that's a huge asset of yours because there's so many little details that could slip, but your team and your tools don't allow that to happen. And that's why I love working with guys.
Yeah, good to hear, because we've spent a lot of time looking at the right systems and it's taken a while. So I'm glad that one works.
It's nothing can fall through a crack. There's no crack.
Well, thank you again so much. And once again, you can reach out to Ann, Linda's daughter, and you can also reach out to us if you need help with the entire move or just the coordination of the move. So appreciate your time and have a great day.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.